Back in 1989, I got my first Master System with about 7 games to start me off. I was over the moon. I couldn't believe it. The Master System does have a huge quality of games to choose from, and I got my first 7. This machine was my first console. It was a plug and play machine. It was brilliant. I couldn't believe my eyes and when I actually managed to get this. So I'm just going to go over today my first experience with the Master System. Let's have a look. Okay, so one of my first games, F-16 Fighter, oh dear. Yeah, I like to say something good about most games, but this one, it's not bad, not the greatest, and you'll probably play it for about 10 minutes and not play it again. The good news is, you can get it for about £5, the cartridge version. The card version is probably going for about £30, maybe more. The next one I tried was Action Fighter. Now this one straight away reminded me of Spy Hunter, with a little bit of twist at the end because you go from bike to car then to plane, and it turns out to be a proper shoot 'em up in the sky. Not a bad version actually, it's still pretty cheap. I did enjoy playing this one. I still come back to it now and then. It's still pretty hard every now and then as well. The next one I plugged in and tried was Chase HQ. Now, I wasn't a massive driving fan, and I didn't play this much back then. I do like it now, and I do enjoy it a lot more. I like the fact that you can choose sound, special effects, or music while playing the game. I still find it was pretty hard. Now we're getting onto the good ones. We've got Fantasy Zone. Yes, this was in my first collection. Pretty good shoot 'em up actually, and I really did like this. Very colourful, very cutesy kind of graphics as well. This was one of my favourites. I did come back to play this a lot more and did enjoy it. So the next game I tried was Shinobi. Now, I was a little let down at first by this one. I mentioned this before in one of my other videos, and it didn't remind me of the arcade too much, but this one really did grow on me, and it turned out to be a pretty good version. It's still pretty hard, and I still can't get past level 3 sometimes, but hey ho, that's, you know, games for you, and I do enjoy this one still today. Next one I tried was GHOULS. Now this one, wow, what a game. It didn't interest me back then. It's your Zelda style clone. There is some side versions, action gaming in there as well, but it didn't appeal to me back then, and yes, I was a fool. I absolutely adore this game now, and when I actually collected it again, I thought I was over the moon that I've actually got this game back, and I'm not letting it go this time. But GHOULS, definitely one of my favourites now. And the last game out of the 7 that I first got was WONDERBOY 3 The Dragon's Trap, and this is when I knew that I was in love with the Master System. This was a huge game for me, and I absolutely adored it. I thought nothing could beat these graphics. This was an absolute quality game, and I think still is today. Definitely one of my favourites. first one I purchased was a game called TRANSBOT, and oh yeah, not a bad one. It's a shoot 'em up. There's really no end to it. I got this one because it cost me $9.99. Yeah, that's how much it cost back in them days. But it's one of the games you'll play for about 10 minutes. Nothing spectacular. Next one I purchased after that, a friend mentioned to me, get this game, it's 2-player simultaneous, it's kind of like Commando. Secret Command, or Rambo as known as in the USA. It's not bad, I still find it quite difficult though, nothing brilliant, but okay, good for a 2-player game. Now things are starting to get really good. It's my first birthday and I'd saved up enough money to go out and get a game. I wanted a game from the arcade and I chose Golden Axe. I remember seeing this review in a magazine and it given it really good reviews. Now actually when playing it, it is a bit choppy, and you hear the downside of things like there's only one player to choose from, which is the Barbarian, but you do still have all 3 sets of magic, and it's not simultaneous play. You can't play 2 players, it's only 1 player, but not a bad version. I did enjoy this one. It does bring back some good memories. Then it got to Christmas time and I decided to get 2 games out of the catalogue. Yeah, that's what we did back then. I wanted another arcade quality game and I chose Altered Beast. I knew it wasn't 2-player. And I knew there was a level missing. This one is a little bit choppy, but I do like this. There's a lot of nostalgia for this game for me. I'm a big Altered Beast fan. The Master System version is not the greatest, but I still love this game. Then I went with another game and I saw the graphics on this one in a magazine and I thought this was really good. It's a platformy Psycho Fox. Yeah, it's good. This is a great game actually, and I still enjoy playing this one to this day. This is what buying the Master System was all about. When I first played this and saw this, great graphics, great sound, this is a must-have. Then I got to Boxing Day and my brother decided to come over and says, look, I've got one last present for you. And he bought me WONDERBOY in MONSTERLAND. Yeah, I used to sit there and watch him play in the arcade. And when I first played this, I was so excited when I opened it up. But when I first played this, I thought, it's slightly different to the arcade. But it's not actually a bad version, and one of my favourites. It's probably one of my top 10 for the Master System games. Now, the next game I've got was Gauntlet. Now, a friend said he was selling it for £10, and I used to remember playing with my brother on Gauntlet on the Spectrum. We played it quite a lot, and I wanted my own version, and I'd seen the screenshots, and this was a pretty good conversion indeed. And you know what? I think this was £10 definitely worth spending, and I still love this game today. Loads of levels to choose from as well. 4 characters to choose from. It's 2-player simultaneous. This is a quality conversion. Then I remember going to my local shop that was starting out trading in Master System games. Yeah, you took a game in, traded a Master System game in, and you could get any other game. You had to pay him a certain amount. I think it was £10. Wow, that was expensive back then. But the first game I saw, I remember seeing this one as a great platformer, Mickey Mouse Castle of Illusion. I wanted to play this game, so I remember trading one of the games in to get this one. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, Mickey Mouse is a quality conversion still to this day. I then traded Mickey Mouse in and got Ghouls and Ghosts. Now, I wasn't impressed with this one back then. It was not bad, but it was very, very different to the arcade, a very stripped down version. Now, I do expect that for being an 8-bit and not a 16-bit machine. Now, the one thing that did let me down on this was I actually got rid of it again, because it had some RPG elements in there, which I think is an absolute quality game. And I'm so glad and chuffed when I actually got this game back again. Now, the next game I've gone with, or a friend lent me this game. It's called Captain Silver. It's by Data East in the arcade. It's slightly converted from the arcade, not the same, but close indeed. And I always find this one quite hard. Yeah, I can play it quite easy now, but this one's not a bad game. It's one of those with the tune in the background, you'll be whistling to yourself for ages. But yeah, definitely give this one a try if you haven't already. Then the next game someone lent me, I always wanted to play this. I want my own version of Double Dragon. I remember playing this in the arcade and I wanted my own version. It was 2 players simultaneously. And I just really wanted to play this, but he lent it me. I never did get my own copy. He did lend me to play for a bit. And I thought it was a pretty good version. Okay, looking back, there's a huge difference compared to the arcade. But back then, I did enjoy it and I remember finishing this one. The last game somebody lent me. Now this one was going for, I remember, something like $49.99, and apparently it had 5 players can play at once. That means 5 saves basically. It's because it had battery backup, and this did not appeal to me. Yes, once again I was a fool because I absolutely adore this game now and I love playing it, especially, you know, it's a nice dark night. Yep, get this out and have a go. East, or Y as I used to call it back then, is an absolute quality game. It's one of those you do have to get into, but once you're into it, you can't put it down. I do absolutely love this game. Definitely worth checking it out. Well, there you have it. The Master System, my first experience with the Master System. What an awesome console it is, still to this day. I love collecting for them. So many games out there. And going back, if I hadn't had that experience with all them games that I purchased and some games that people borrowed me, I don't think I would be that interested in it now. But let's face it, it's such a quality machine, still to this day, and absolutely brilliant indeed. And now, let me know your thoughts and your experiences regarding your first experience with the Master System, and you know, what were the first games you got? Leave a comment down below. Don't forget, leave a like if you like it. Guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.